Welcome back to the Linguistic Landscape and Autoethnography of Place course. This is the second workshop in the series to help you write an autoethnography of place. Now, in our last video, you should have chosen a site, a place that you want to study. And one of the things I pointed out is that you want this site to have a rich discursive context, to be meaningful to you. In this video, in this workshop, we're going to discuss a site visit, which is very important, and it's possible that you'll have several site visits and not just one, but for purposes of the video, I'm going to give you the framework for one site visit. So if you think about the schematic of the overall process, we've chosen a personally meaningful site. Now we should go and visit it. Now, the funny thing is, you think, well, I chose it because it's personally meaningful and I know it, and I'm sure that's true. However, there is something about the physical presence in a space when you're going there with a research, observational sort of orientation that makes this a very, very important process. The aim of this site visit is to document your impressions, feelings and thoughts, connections and sensory responses as you are on the site. And this is really important, being at the site. The linguistic landscape works through us. We respond to the site. We respond to the place that we are at. So don't sit in your office or, the library or something and write down your impressions. You need to physically be there and think about being there in order to really get a sense of the first stages of an autoethnography of place. Now, we're going to use a very simple process. We're going to use on-site reflective journaling to collect this data. So get yourself a field notes journal or any other small type of journal. You also need to spend at least 60 minutes. I think that's a minimal amount of time, and I think you probably should do this over several days, not just on one day. Don't rush this process because it's the point at which you are grounding your work. You are generating your response. Allow yourself to do that. Don't rush it. So what's involved in a site visit? Well, first of all, you're going to be walking around the site, and as a very simple principle, I'd say be mindful of where you are and pay attention to what you are sensing. Observe. You don't have to take pictures or anything, but observe, pay attention to the multimodal linguistic landscape that surrounds you, and note anything you see in your journal. So these do not have to be coherent notes, just take note of what you're looking at. Allow yourself to have sensory engagement. Pay attention to the sights, sounds, smells, and textures. And just write these down. Sort of write down your sort of sensory feelings in this place. I know that sounds strange, and you might feel strange doing it because we don't do this very often. But allow yourself to do that so you have a sense of what you're feeling, what you're sensing at this site. Also, think about the memories you have. You've chosen this site for a particular reason. However, what memories does it elicit? And just make a name, the specific experiences you associate with this site. And then most importantly, what's your emotional response? Ask yourself how you feel in this space. Write any emotional responses you have in your journal. What I would say about all these things is, don't try to be coherent. Try to let things flow through you, and whatever comes up, write it down, note, take about it. Just think about being in this space and what it feels like for you and what it elicits, what memories it brings to saliency in your brain. Once you've, finished your site visits or site visits, do a post-visit reflection. Sit down with your notes, go over your notes, read what you wrote, Think about what stands out in your mind, thinks what is salient to you, what you're left with, and write a one-page reflection on your visit to the site. Once again, it doesn't have to be amazingly coherent. This is not an essay. You're just trying to sort of document what your site visit was like and what stands out to you at this point. And with that, I'll leave you and I'll see you in our next video.